And I'm also going to put it live on Facebook. So give me 1 second while I do that and get it started. And then,
shall we mute Bhavna ji?
हाँ जी, 1 minute. मैं सबको mute करती हूँ अभी 2 minute में.
Okay.
Let me just get this going.
आपको मेरी पिक्चर नहीं आती है इसमें पोस्टर ही है मेरा I mean Facebook का.
Is Abhilash there? I see Adya's, but is Abhilash there? So Pramila, if it's okay with you, I'm going to make you co-host. So if you can just let people in while I'm taking care of other stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here too. My dad is here too.
I'm here.
Oh, he's there.
Okay, we're all set. So let's start. I just want to welcome everybody today. This is a first time for the Hindu Temple of Tristates. We're trying a cooking demonstration, and I want to thank Rajni Menon, who is our guest this evening. Rajni is a chef, and she has been cooking for quite some time. She is also an artist. She's a very multi-talented individual, and I'm very proud to call her my friend. And she has been actually cooking with some of the well-known chefs in the area, and she also has a blog on cooking that she runs, and she also writes a cooking column for one of the magazines. What's the name of the magazine, Rajni?
It's called WAG Magazine.
WAG Magazine.
Manchester.
So she has agreed to come and do the cooking demonstration for us today. But before we get started, Chandra ji, आपको शुरू करना है? पूजा के साथ आप शुरू करेंगे?
जी जी जी.
अच्छा.
वक्रतुंडा महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दं भवन् भवानी सहितं नमामि भवन् भवानी सहितं नमामि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरा गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः since this is a cooking thing so I would like to do the Brahma Arpan because भगवान को हम आगे बिठा के अन्नपूर्णा माता को हम ये शुरू करते हैं ओम ब्रह्मार्पणम ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्माग्नो ब्रह्मणाहुतम ब्रह्मेण तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्म कर्म समाधिना अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणसमयुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम् ॐ शान्ति 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 Thank you.
Thank you, Chandaji.
Yeah.
Okay, without much more, I just want to introduce our guest for this evening. Again, Rajni Menon. And Rajni, I'm just going to spotlight you. So there she is. So everybody can see you. And tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, Bhavna, for that amazing introduction. Thank you. And I am so excited to be here. And thank you all for joining in this cooking demonstration as well. I appreciate each one of you. Again, my name is Rajni. And as Bhavna said, I am a very passionate cook. And I work for John George's. And I also have a cooking blog where I post recipes from my childhood, from my family, as well as inspired by my global travel as well. So do check it out. It's creativerajni.com and hope you enjoy them. So today I am so excited when Bhavna told me to do a cooking show, and I am presenting to you two dishes which is related to Satvik cooking. And so I am not going to name the two dishes. I would like you to guess, to make it. So these are two Satvik dishes, one with cabbage and the other one is with black-eyed peas. And I hope you have all the recipes. Am I right?
Yes, so the recipes, you had sent them to me. I did email the ingredients out, but like you said, I did not share the names of the recipes.
Okay.
However, we will wait till the end. As you're cooking, perhaps they will realize what these dishes are.
Yes.
And they can put it in the chat box. So let me just go over a little bit of housekeeping here before we really get started. One, before you actually start cooking, we did put together a small, very brief PowerPoint presentation that I would like to share with anybody, because we have some new people joining. And although I think most people are familiar with Hindu diet and the categories of foods, the Satvik, the Rajasic, and the Tamasic foods,
Right.
There may be some people who aren't. So we just want to give them a brief background before we get started with the cooking.
Sure.
And we also, in between, you know, I'm sure you're not going to talk nonstop for an hour and a half. So in between, just to keep it interesting, we also have a quiz, which we will be sharing, and people can give their answers. The people who give the right answers, all their names will be put into a raffle drawing. And at the end of the show, we will be drawing winners. And Jagdish Mittal, who is the president of Hindu Temple of Tristates and also the owner of Royal Palace, has agreed to give some $25 gift certificates to the restaurant. So those will be winners, and we will get their information of the winners and mail the certificates to them. So hopefully, you know, the restaurants will open up soon and they can make use of those gift certificates. So for everybody, I just want to bring their attention to their screens. And if you look at the bottom of your screen, you will see something called chat. And that's a chat window. And if you click on it, you can send messages to the people who are on this. So when you answer your question, you want to make sure that in the to box at the bottom of the chat window where it says to, you want to make sure that it says everyone in the meeting, so that everybody can see your answers, and especially our volunteers, my co-volunteers and co-hosts Pramila Saxena and Abhilash Tiwari can see the names, because they are the ones who are going to be taking down the names of the people who answer. So you'll be given a certain amount of time, maybe 10 seconds or so, to give your answers, and Abhilash ji will be minding the clock, and Pramila ji will be writing down all the names, all right? So if you have questions also about the proceedings, you can type your questions out in the chat box, and we will be able to see that, and we'll make sure that it gets answered. So without much ado, Rajni, if the introductions are over, then I would like to start the PowerPoint presentation. It's going to be very brief. Yes?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to share my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess everybody can see the screen now. So today we're going to be, the cooking demonstration is really going to be an example of some of our Hindu diet. And Hindu diet is really a diet that where we're eating for our mind, body, and soul, called the Trigunas. So, so what is a yogic diet? Our knowledge of food is usually based only on its gross material content, right? Like carbohydrates, proteins. Whenever we talk about food, generally we talk about, you know, those kinds of things, whether it's a carbohydrate or a protein or what kind of minerals it has. But the yogic concept of food takes into account the total dimension of the human existence. Our body is formed out of atoms and molecules. And apart from the gross body, we also possess a prana, the mind, intellect, emotions, and most importantly, we also have a spiritual dimension. So a balanced diet, according to Hindu philosophy, is therefore a diet that restores the balance for all these levels. And only such diets can aid, according to Hindu philosophy, in holistic living. So these are related to this, these eating or these diets are related to Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, where the Satvik food or the Sattva Guna, which is the highest level of the diet, is really the very light foods that brings vitality, stamina, health, cheerfulness to the appetite. Its quality is savor. It's very substantial in values. It's fresh, wholesome nutrients, and it's a very balanced way of cooking. So you have farm fresh fruits and vegetables, wholesome grains. Fresh cow's milk belong to this category. They give energy, lightness, agility, and sharpness of mind. People in yoga, fine arts, intellectuals, scholars, and social reformers really tend to gravitate toward these foods. And sattvic foods are those that lead to clarity of mind and physical health. These foods are to be consumed on a regular basis. Sattvic foods are generally those which can be obtained without harming other organisms or oneself. Only sattvic foods are acceptable as offerings to the Hindu gods. And examples of this are water, cereal, grains, as we said, legumes, vegetables, fruits, nuts, unpasteurized milk, and unhomogenized fresh milk, and all fresh milk derivatives, mostly ghee, but also butter, cream, fresh or cottage cheese, paneer, and yogurt or lassi, and raw honey. So these are all sattvic foods. The rajasic food is really a little bit more bitter, sour, salty. It's hot, pungent. It tends to stimulate the nerves and speed up the metabolism and hypes up the activity levels. Coffee, tea, pepper, green chilies, and high quality wines are of this nature. They push aggressiveness and competitiveness. They will enhance the ego, will make you restless and passionate. And it generally slows down your fitness level. Rajasic foods are those that have a stimulating effect on the mind and body. They are considered to be neither beneficial nor really harmful. These foods lead to aggressiveness and irritability and are often obtained in a way that harms other organisms. So not necessarily killing other organisms, but but they do cause some harm. So caffeinated drinks, coffee and tea, cola drinks, energy drinks, brown or black chocolate, pan, ginkgo biloba, overly spicy foods, salty foods, and also the unfertilized egg. Now, when we talk about eggs, there is, when I was researching, and I'm certainly not an expert on these foods. So, but what I found was that there was a lot of controversy about whether or not the egg it can be included here or not. Some people say as long as it's not a fertilized egg, then it's okay. But other viewpoints have a differing view on this. So I just wanted to let you know that there are other views. The tamasic food is the food that causes a lot of lethargy. It is stale, artificially colored, has a lot of preservatives. If it's cooked over and left overnight and you eat it the next day, that is considered tamasic as well. Fermented foods and drinks, leftover prepared meat of animals, dead, long, or cold. These are all tamasic foods, and they tend to cause heaviness, lethargy, and you tend to collapse faster. So they have a sedative effect on the mind and body, and in general, they are considered detrimental. According to yoga, these foods are to be avoided as they can cause mental dullness and physical numbness. However, in times of pain, they are allowed to alleviate suffering. So the best way to remember these three are, I really found this very interesting, the little cartoons up there, that the sattvic foods are those that are very peaceful, and they tend to make you feel peaceful and balanced, and you feel very in harmony. The rajasic foods are if you tend to get stressed out, and then those are possibly, and feeling a little hyper, then those are rajasic foods. And tamasic foods are, of course, where you feel heavy and sleepy, you have dullness and inactive, you don't feel like doing anything, then those are all, after eating, then those are probably you're ingesting tamasic types of foods. So that's just our brief presentation, just to give you a brief background. And as I said, I'm putting the disclaimer out there. I am no expert on this. So if I've said something wrong, please forgive me. We will be following this cooking demonstration up. We're looking for somebody who is an expert to come and expound on this philosophy of Hindu way of eating a lot more. So if you know of somebody, please let us know. and we will definitely reach out to them and bring them on board. So without much ado, it's back to Rajni again.
Thank you so much, Bhavna. That was a very nice presentation. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, so we're going to do two dishes today. One with cabbage, and the other one is with split black-eyed peas. So this is split black-eyed peas, and you can use either that or the red mung beans, which I have here as well. So either one is fine. But before I start, I'd like to, those who are cooking with me, I would suggest that if you have soaked the beans and cooked it, that's great. If not, I would suggest that you maybe just pressure cook it right away, so that it'll be ready when we start cooking, actually cooking the dish. So just to put it out there. All right. So we shall start with the first, the cabbage dish. So here I'll show you all the ingredients. So I hope you can see, everyone. Yeah. So for the cabbage dish, I have cabbage. I have some grated coconut, some coconut oil. I have some curry leaves, a couple of green chilies, and then I have some jeera, the cumin seeds. In the recipe, I have mentioned fennel seeds. Unfortunately, I don't have fennel seeds right now, so I'm using fennel powder. You can use either. And some of the other spices, which is the turmeric, some Himalayan pink salt, and some mustard seeds. We are going to cook with coconut oil, the whole dish. Both the dishes are cooked with coconut oil. And so going on to the second ingredients, it would be, I have some butternut squash. You can always use white pumpkin or yellow pumpkin, but you can also use the butternut squash as well. So these are really cut into very thin pieces, small. And then of course the black-eyed peas. I have the black-eyed peas already pressure cooked, and it's really nice and soft. Some curry leaves, again, some green chilies, some coconut oil, and a little bit of coconut milk. So we are going to start off by toasting these cumin seeds, just to get a nice aroma, a nutty flavor. It will bring a very nice flavor to the cabbage dish. So I am going to toast this right now. So if you are cooking along with me, I would suggest that you start toasting the cumin and the fennel seeds, please. Okay. So then next, while that's happening, we are going to cut the cabbage. So basically I have a small cabbage. I am going to core it first, throwing away the... And then what we do is we try to do it very small pieces. So basically cut it into as small piece as possible. So I'm going to do that. So any like square pieces is fine, square or length, whichever way you like it. The smaller, the better for this dish. So I can give you a hint that this is from the very southern part of India, this dish. So anybody have any guesses on that yet? Please write it in the chat. Okay. You can just leave the core out. Just going to clean my hands. Okay. I'm going to check on the cumin seeds. It's nice and toasty. I'm going to put this in a bowl. Away. Okay, now I'm going to see the how the cumin seeds are coming along. It's going to be a little toasty, so you can put it on a little bit high, so that if you start seeing like a light brown color, that's really good. So I think mine is good. I put it on high heat, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto this, and we're going to make like a little paste along with one chili. So you can basically cut the chilies into like thin slices, and then put it along with the cumin and the fennel, and just grind it so that it becomes like a coarse grind. You know, that's totally fine. What we're going to do is we're going to put that onto the cabbage along with the coconut as well, and then give it a nice marinade to that. So I'm going to put the chilies in here. I'm just going to grind it really nicely so that it's crushed. That's about it. It doesn't need to have to be like really fine paste, or, you know. So I will show you. So it's just like that, maybe. Yeah. So what we do is we put that. I'm going to put that in here as well. Along with some salt, some fennel powder.
And fennel powder is what in, what do we call that in Hindi? Is that
Saunf, yes, saunf. That is the sugar-coated fennel you get in all the restaurants at the end after you eat, right? So it's basically that, but this is just plain fennel, plain, no sugar.
Okay.
So and please feel free to ask me any questions if anybody has any questions. Happy to answer. Okay. So some turmeric and the coconut. And the coconut goes in.
And this is fresh coconut, right?
Yes, it's fresh coconut. What I do is I buy whole fresh coconut, and one day that's the day for me. You know, I just take everything out, peel everything, cut it open, peel everything, take everything out, and then grind it coarse, and then put it in my freezer. So it's very easy for me, you know, to use it whenever I need it. So I'm just going to give it all a nice mix. And I think
Soren is your dish.
who said that? Who said that?
Who was that?
Not he.
Oh, that is right. You are right. Great. Good job. Good job. Yes, it's a very, very simple dish, and I've grown up with it. My grandma and my mom always cooked this, you know, as a lunch. And this is, of course, from Kerala. It's a very, very popular dish, which you will see on a daily basis in the homes, as well as in Kerala feasts, you know, on a banana leaf. There won't be a feast without cabbage thoran on it. So it's a very, very popular dish. So I thought I'll just make that for you guys.
Your name,
Oh.
I guessed it. Menon.
Yes. I'm sorry?
With your name, I guessed it. Menon.
Yes, yes, you're right. Well, thank you and great job. Yes. So, all right. So I'm actually going to put all of it in because I like the yellow color for my cabbage thoran. So I just add, okay, and then it goes for marinade for a little bit. And now we are going to actually basically steam this basically in the pan. So if you're ready to cook, you can have I'm actually going to move my computer back to my station so that you can see better. So give me a moment, please.
So while she's doing that, I'm going to ask you the first question in our quiz. I'm going to launch it and you can just select the answer and you'll be able to see it. And then type the answer in the chat box. Don't forget to type it. So you can select one of the answers. Individuals found to have a diet dominated by tamasic foods tend to suffer from depression and chronic viruses. True or false? So not everybody is taking the poll because I see only 12 people have answered the poll and we have 32 people signed on. So come on, everybody.
Bhavna, do we have to answer in the chat or in the poll?
Both.
Okay, but we don't have everyone to chat. We have only to Pramila or you or the co-host.
So send it to Pramila.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because she's taking all the names. All right, only 14 people have answered. Come on, everybody. I'm going to be closing the poll very quickly. I think Rajni is ready to get started. So I'm going to count down.
I'll wait for you, Bhavna.
Okay, so I'm counting down. Does everybody see the chat box at the bottom? All right, we have 20 people who've answered, 11 more to go. Does everybody see the poll? All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so these are the results. We had 85% saying true and 15% saying false. All right, false people, you were not paying attention to the PowerPoint that I shared, but that's okay. That's all right, makes it a little bit more interesting. You may have joined us late, but the trues have it. The people who said true, that is very true. Tamasic foods, people who tend to eat tamasic food do suffer from, tend to suffer from depression and chronic viruses because it's not considered to be very fresh foods. So let's go back to Rajni. Thank you very much for participating. Rajni, it's back to you.
Thank you, Bhavna. So my pan is nice and hot now. So I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil.
Rajni, while you're cooking,
Yes.
coconut not good for your cholesterol and heart. And here you guys take so much cholesterol, coconut in Kerala. So tell us a little while you're cooking, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry?
Can you tell us a little about the coconut and effect on the health, especially in the Western world? Now we are not living in Kerala. So
yeah. So yes, I know. I've heard like there are mixed reviews about coconut oil, and I'm no expert actually on coconut oil, but coconut oil is a super healthy oil compared to any other oils that is available. That is what I think, and yes, you know, you have to use it sparingly. The only thing is when you use coconut oil, you have to use it very sparingly in little amounts. So, and if you need a little bit more of coconut oil, you know, it's, you are making like a whole big a huge pot of, you know, cabbage or whatever you make, you need to have only very little of it. So that is what I do. um, I feel that, you know, the coconut is very healthy for you compared to the rest of the oils that you get here. Of course, olive oil is also great, but in Kerala cooking, in South Indian cooking, coconut is used in every form, as you know.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what I feel, but I think that, you know, it's, you just have to use it sparingly, you know what I mean. I hope that I have answered that question, but I can
As I,
totally research more and let you know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
so Rajni, just to, as you continue, let me also share a little bit about
Yeah.
that. So
Mhm.
according to, when I was researching all this and again, the disclaimer, I'm no expert, but as I was researching for today, what they really said was that these foods that are listed under Sattvic foods, they are beneficial for you only if they are eaten in the way that you're supposed to be eating them under the Sattvic way of eating, right? So if you take coconut oil and then use it with tamasic foods, then yes, it's going to cause, it's not going to be beneficial. But if you eat it with other Sattvic foods and in the way that Sattvic food is prepared, then it's not going to have those harmful effects. And the Sattvic way of eating and the Sattvic way of cooking, those those foods that are under the Sattvic foods list, there's a very specific way of eating, when to eat, the proportions in which you eat. So when you eat it that way, and coconut oil is considered Sattvic, it's supposed to be extremely beneficial. I hope that helps a little bit.
Yes, that's great. Yes, Bhavna, I completely agree with that as well. But I can definitely research more because in Kerala, I've grown up having, you know, coconut oil. We don't use any other oil other than coconut oil in our cooking, at least in Kerala. So some of the dishes, the flavor, if you really need the flavor of South Indian cuisine, coconut oil is the way to go. So if you have high cholesterol, then, you know, I think maybe you can use it sparingly, or you know, you can change it into the flavor, of course, it'll be a little bit less, but that's the way to go. But I definitely can do more research and let you know, whoever asked that question.
The thought is that coconut oil is a saturated oil as opposed to, say, olive oil or some of the other oils
Yes.
that are monounsaturated oils. So those are supposed to be heart healthy. And in Kerala, I believe that the incidence of heart disease is fairly high, and this is from a long time ago that I read that it's probably because of the use of coconut in every form, especially the oil.
Right, right. I understand. So yes, definitely, you know, I'll have to do more research on that, and I will definitely let you know. But yeah, I get your point. So coming back, what I've done here is I added coconut oil, added mustard seeds, and a little bit of curry leaves, and I added our cabbage mixture here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lower the heat. I would suggest that you lower the heat and just cover it and cook it very slowly. So that'll be done in a few minutes. So while we move on to the next dish.
So can you just revise what did you put all in that cabbage mixture? Just revise it briefly.
Oh, sure, sure. So
Yeah,
what I
replay कर दो थोड़ा.
Revise it.
Yes, absolutely. So in the cabbage, I put the green chili and cumin and fennel crushed, salt, turmeric, the coconut, grated coconut, and that's it. I just massaged that and kept it aside. And then in the pan, I added some coconut oil, some mustard seeds, and let it splutter. And then added some curry leaves. And then I added the whole cabbage mixture onto it, onto the pan. And what I've not done now is I've lowered the heat very low, super low, and then I've covered it with a lid and just let it cook. So basically, if you put it in low heat, basically you are actually kind of steaming it. So I want the cabbage to cook very, very slowly, and you know it'll be almost steamed. So let's leave it there, and then we'll move on to the second dish, which I'll be making with the black-eyed peas. Okay.
How many minutes do you leave it on slow?
Until maybe like about 15 minutes, probably 15 to 20 minutes, probably. It also depends on how you like it, how you like the cabbage also. If you like the cabbage super soft, then leave it a little bit longer than 15 to 20 minutes. If not, you can turn it off like in 15 minutes. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So I'm actually heating up another pan here. So we are going to make the second dish. So I would suggest that you grab another pan and just make it in maybe like medium flame. And we are going to use the white pumpkin, or if you have white pumpkin or yellow pumpkin or squash or anything else, you can put that in there. And also add a bit of water, maybe like half to 1 cup of water. Just shake it around.
Okay, it looks like it's time for our second question in our poll. Very quickly, here's the second question. A Satvik diet promotes ease of digestion and elimination while supplying a maximum amount of energy and endurance, increasing vitality and strength. True or false? Don't forget to type your answers in the chat box too. If you do not have the option to provide your answers to everyone, then please send them either to me or to Promila Saxena. Preferably to Promila, because she's the one who's writing all the names. But if you send them to me, I'm sharing them with her. All right, so here's the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm closing the poll now. So there we go. And yes, all right. Everybody's paying attention now. Everyone's woken up. So yes, that is true. Very true. The Satvik diet promotes ease of digestion and elimination. Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So in this, what I've added is, excuse me. Sorry about that. Oops, sorry. I just had to take a drink. What I've added here is some water with my butternut squash.
I added one slit green chili and a little bit of salt. So I'm going to let it cook for a little bit on low heat. I would suggest again to close it and just put it under low heat and let it cook. So it'll take just a few minutes for this. So if you want to do another poll, Bhavna, that's fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here comes the third question. Rajasic foods overstimulate the body and mind, causing physical and mental stress. They promote poor circulation and disorders of which system? The immune system, the nervous system, or the creative system? I can read it again. The Rajasic foods overstimulate the body and mind, causing physical and mental stress. They promote poor circulation and disorders of which system? The immune system, the nervous system, or the creative system? All right, so we have very differing, it seems, differing answers or differing views on this. Very, very interesting. I'm going to give you a few more minutes to think about it. Okay, here's the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get your answers into the poll. All right, I'm ending the poll now. And these were the results. 38% said immune system, 57% said nervous system, and 5% said creative. And the actual correct answer from my research is the nervous system. It does tend to affect all three, but it's primarily the nervous system that is impacted by the Rajasic foods. So thank you for that. Rajni, are we ready to get back to you?
Yes, I'm ready. So, so the butternut squash is nice and soft for me because I've sliced it super thin. And now what I'll be doing is I will be adding the cooked peas. The black-eyed peas goes in. These are very simple recipe. And I'm just going to give that a stir. And so, and then I will be adding the coconut milk. And that's it. And then I will just boil it a little bit. I will just cover that one more time and just cook it a bit more time. How is everybody, whoever's cooking, how is it going?
Getting hungry.
Yes, I'm sure. And the perfectly steamed white rice goes very well with these two dishes. So I hope you can make some white rice or brown rice, whichever you prefer, and these can be enjoyed with that. Okay. All right. So it is just trying to heat it up. You can turn the heat on a little bit higher and just allow it to cook with the coconut milk. You know, the aroma of the coconut milk is just so amazing. I love it. And the little bit of spice from the green chili also goes in there, along with the coconut milk. And right now you can check for the amount of salt level as well. So if you need to add, check the flavor. I'm just going to taste it also.
So this is curry, huh?
I'm sorry?
This is the name of the dish is curry.
No. Mm-mm. No.
Eriseri.
I'm sorry?
Eriseri.
No. You're close. No. But that's another one of my favorite dishes as well.
In Olen.
Yes. Who said that?
Rajni Menon.
You're right.
Repeat it. Repeat the name.
Olen.
It's called Olan. Olan.
It is from Kerala again.
Yes. It is an authentic Kerala dish, which again you would see in all the Kerala feasts. If there is any occasion like wedding or anything, and you go for a feast, and everything is served on a banana leaf, like there are hundreds and hundreds of items, and this is one among them. It's called Olan, and it is so flavorful. It has coconut milk, coconut oil, and the flavor just comes through very well. It's such a very simple dish. There's not many ingredients or too many spices in this. It's just a little bit of chili and salt, and that's about it, and coconut oil. So this is almost done actually, and it's a very quick cooking because we have already cooked our black-eyed peas.
Can I ask you something, Rajni?
Yes.
You don't put ginger in there?
No, there's no ginger in Olan. We don't put ginger in Olan at all. It's a very, very simple dish. As I said, no ginger, garlic, nothing of that sort. It's a very simple and easy dish to prepare. And it can be enjoyed mostly with rice, but people do have it with roti as well. I prefer rice with it, but it's your choice. So right now I'm going to add some curry leaves, actually lots of it. And
I love the flavor of curry leaves. The curry patta just makes it really very flavorful.
Totally. And a little bit of last minute, little bit of coconut oil, and then just stir it once more, and you can turn off the flame, and it's ready. This is done.
I know that Ela and Dhiman Pandya have been cooking along in their kitchen. They were all set with their chef's cap and apron and everything. So let's just go and check in with them real quick.
Yes,
Absolutely.
And let's see how they've been doing.
It's coming along very good. I have my cabbage. It's coming along very good. Everything. And surprisingly, my daughter-in-law is from South India. So I'm going to tell her tomorrow. I told her the ingredients this morning, and I'm going to tell her we made all, and I'll call her tomorrow.
Nice. That is so awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for cooking along with me. I appreciate it.
11.
Yes.
We will be there.
Okay, I jao. It's doing good. My chef, my assistant chef is coming. He ran away. He's coming. He's here. He's here. Just say hello. They're asking us.
Yes.
For Olen, can you revise the ingredients?
Yes. Ingredients are good, and I have had some of this at my daughter-in-law's, so it is really good. It's really good.
Happy to hear that.
Look, my cabbage thing.
Oh, lovely. It's then turned soft already, right?
Yes, it is.
Great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
No, not yet. No.
Rajni, I have one question. The salt you put is, you said pink salt, which is kala namak?
No, that is different. There are so many different kinds of salt.
Because kala namak is also
Himalaya
little
salt.
bit.
Pink
I'm
salt
sorry?
is Himalaya salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Get it in all the stores. It's called Himalaya salt.
Yeah.
Chandraji, I have pink salt. I'll give you some.
I have kala namak, but I wanted
not
to.
kala
That
namak,
is also kala namak is also little pink in color.
Yeah, but it has a flavor.
Okay.
Pink salt
yeah.
has different flavor, so that's why.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That was good. Very nice.
You can buy pink salt at Costco. They have lots of different kinds of salt, including Himalayan pink salt.
Oh,
Hello.
okay. Okay.
Hello,
Trader
with
Joe's
reference
also
to
has it.
Uh-huh.
anybody can hear me? Miss
I'm sorry,
Menon?
who is that gentleman speaking?
This gentleman is Natu Patel. When
Kem
you're
છો
discussing
નટુભાઈ?
about, namaste. When you are discussing about salt, there are different names. गुजराती में कोई सुरोकार बोलते हैं, वापस करते हैं, कोई काला salt बोलते हैं. Can you focus patient with blood pressure and patient without history of blood pressure? Naturopathic medicine doctor, they always say about low salt. Means regular salt is sodium chloride. Increase the level of sodium in the blood, increases the blood pressure. That's why they are on the blood pressure medicine. So doctor advice take low salt. Now another thing, naturopath advice always use low salt, which is available in health and food store, which is 65% potassium chloride, 35% sodium chloride. So the sodium level low, intake low, and potassium level increase in your body, your blood pressure automatically going to the normal range. So which salt to use, which not salt to use, I request today's lecturer to focus on that. As we are talking about health, with reference to healthy food.
So none of us are really experts. As I said, we are going to definitely reach out to somebody who is an expert on Satvik cooking. But from what research I have found is that part of Satvik cooking is also the amount of salt that we use. So Satvik cooking recommends that
less salt.
Very limited amount of
There are different ways to describe all these cooking methods. Some people call Satvik cooking, some people say holistic cooking. In holistic cooking, what they do when we do a vagar or tadka, they say, no, you just roast the ingredients, but don't boil in the oil. And you cook the vegetable with steam and then add the ingredient on top of it. Like that, so different philosophy.
Right.
The purpose is holistic cooking, Satvik cooking. That the whole philosophy is that we want to maintain, as we are vegetarian, we wanted to maintain the basic nutritional ingredient in the vegetable we consume and not to burn out. Over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Natubai. Okay, Rajni, back to you.
Yes. That was very, very nice. Ingredients of that Olen dish, just revise the ingredients, please.
Yes. So for the Olen, I had the black-eyed peas, the white pumpkin, or you can use either red pumpkin or also squash, butternut squash. I use that. Then curry leaves, some coconut oil, some coconut milk, and green chili, and a little bit of salt. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Rajni, so we're all coming to your place for dinner now.
Yeah.
So all are most welcome to come anytime.
I have a question. Is there any takeout service available?
I'm sorry?
Service is available. I'm ready to pick up.
This is not enough for everyone.
If anybody is more and worried about overeating and obesity and cholesterol, I'm ready to pick up whatever left over.
No, actually, I forgot to mention.
I talked too much about this.
I forgot to mention that Rajni, you used to have a party, cooking party business as well that you used to do, correct? Where you used to go and used to cook.
Yes. Before all of the pandemic, I had that. I used to go to people's homes, and cook for a family. I would ask them what their allergies were and come up with a plan according to their taste buds for the whole family. And I would go in and just, they would get all the ingredients for me. I would let them know earlier on. And just like a dinner party, like a party at home, even during a weekday. So I would go in and do all the cooking, and also explain about the dishes, and just give a history, a little bit of history about what I'm cooking and how is it, which part of India is it from, and also the different ingredients in detail. So I totally enjoyed that, but during COVID, I had to stop all of that. So everything is virtual now these days.
So, Rajni ji, I have one question.
Yes.
The consistency of Olan, is it like a soup? Is it soupy?
Yes, it is. It is kind of soupy. I don't know whether you all can see.
Yeah.
It is soupy. If you don't like that, you can actually mash a little bit of the butternut squash or the pumpkin. You can just mash it with using a potato masher, just a little bit, and then add on to that, so it becomes more of.
Yeah, mine came out a little soupy, but I'm going to let it cook, so it'll.
Yeah, let it cook first, and then if that's not enough, just mash it a little bit. So then you will get the right consistency.
Okay, thank you very much. It tastes good. It tastes delicious. I tasted it. It's delicious.
I have a question. I have a question. My name is Rani. In Satvik food, do you use onion, garlic, or it's not included in Satvik food?
Yeah, no, it is not included in Satvik cooking. No root vegetables at all. And so I do cook with onions and root vegetables, but Sattvic cooking does not involve that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
My
this would be my cabbage dish that I just prepared. So both the dishes are done, and it can be enjoyed with some hot steamed white rice.
Wonderful.
I like the cabbage one.
Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
So here's another poll question. Individuals found to have a diet dominated by tamasic foods tend to suffer from, didn't I already ask this question? Let me end this. So hold on. Here's another question. Are Hindus, here it is. Are Hindus forbidden from eating meat? And the choices are: not all Hindus are vegetarian. Hinduism does not lay down rigid do's and don'ts. Hindu answer to this query is ahimsa, refraining from injuring physically, mentally, or emotionally anyone or any living creature. Vegetarians are more numerous in south of India than in the north, and all of the above. So you can pick multiple answers, or you can pick all of the above. Okay, so here's the countdown: 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to end the poll now. And yes, the correct answer is really all of the above. 75% of you got that correct. Not all Hindus are vegetarians, although the Hindu way of diet is considered to be vegetarian, but not all Hindus are vegetarian. And from my research, and again, the disclaimers here, I'm no expert, but from the research I found that people living in the South tend to be there are more vegetarians in South India than there are in North India. And what the research showed, the reasoning behind that was that the climate is warmer in South India than it is in the north, and so in North India they make more of the Rajasic or even somewhat of a little combination of Rajasic and Tamasic food to warm up the body a little bit more and keep themselves warm. So there are more vegetarians in South India. But Hinduism really doesn't have, it's not a very rigid way of saying. They recommend that this should be the way of eating, but there are no rigid do's and don'ts. So they say, it's not like don't do this or don't do that. The whole philosophy is of the Hindu, the Sattvic way of eating is, as we said before, is so that the least harm, right? You don't really want to harm any living creature that exists on the planet. And so that is why they follow the Sattvic way of eating. So that was it. Let's do, Pramila, Abhilash, can we do some more questions?
I don't have a question. I just want to comment on something.
Okay.
As we discussed about different kind of salts. So, and this, not killing animals or harming any animals. In, when we do the vrat or upvas, we usually use the Himalayan salt, which is called Sendha Namak, because it is mostly found in the Sindh region of India. And the reason behind it was traditionally, like in earlier times, the salt taken out from the sea was supposed to, what it was considered that all the animals, dead animals, and live animals, they get harmed, and therefore in obtaining the salt from sea, and therefore they refrain from using sea salt, which is these days sold as iodized salt or non-iodized salt. That was not recommended in Sattvic diet as well as the Vrat and Upvas diet. So only, and not the Kala Namak, we don't have to mix it with Kala Namak. Only the Sendha Namak, which comes from Sindh, is prescribed for Vrat and Upvas. Thank you.
Okay. So here's our next question.
That I have a question. Is Sindha Namak the pink salt, that Himalayan salt, or that's a different type of salt?
It's the pink Himalayan salt, which is found in the region of Sindh region of India, Pakistan, and some part of Afghanistan.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So here's our next quiz question. Will plants feel pain when we cut them? And this is a multiple choice question, so you can pick more than one. And the choices are yes, they are living, breathing things and will feel pain. Or no, they will not feel pain, they are not human. Or no, they will not feel pain because they do not have consciousness like human beings. Or all of the above. Okay, so I'm counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm ending the poll. And here are the results. Excellent. 57% of you got the right answer. And the correct answer is no, they will not feel pain because they do not have consciousness like human beings. So the things that, even though plants are considered living, breathing things, but they don't feel pain because they don't have the consciousness or the spirit like human beings, animals do. And so when you cut the plants, they don't feel, it's considered they don't feel pain. However,
but since one thing I want to tell about the plants, Bhavna ji, that I have read and seen several times in some of the mythological movies and all that, whenever they cut the plant or they first do the puja. You know, they just say that, forgive me, I'm just taking you. So that means there is something over there, and that's how, you know, you can, because it's a Satvik thing. So the Satvik thing, I think that answers that whenever we do prayer, whenever we say for the food, we always say the prayer. So that's how when we cut the plants or pluck anything, we should always say thank you for, you know, giving me this food, even if they are not conscious or yeah.
Right.
That's what I read.
No, you're absolutely right, Chandraji, and that's what I thought also, that there is a segment of the population that really feels that even when we cut plants, we are hurting them.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
I also think, even though I was thinking that plants have no pain, but they do have pain, but very little pain. But I don't know that comparison, what comparison is used when we say they have little pain, but they do feel pain. Is it pain compared to human pain, or is it pain that they feel? But they do feel pain. That's the studies have shown. In one of, I think when I posted this question before, one of our, I think he's Jitendra Abhi, he said that in South Africa, like countries, when they have to cut a big tree or something for their needs, what they do is they don't want to hurt him physically, but they go and curse that, they go in groups and curse that plant so much that the plant gives up and starts dying, and then they cut it. I think it's more hurting than just cutting the tree before hurting them.
I would like to.
I think the correct answer should be yes. They do feel
Bhavna,
a little less.
Bhavna, I noticed one thing. There are few house plants. I mean, in Yorktown, I had lot of plants, but tulsi, curry patta, and all that. I usually used to put little music around that, Om Namah Shivaya, or something, you know, over
something,
there.
yeah,
And
that's
they
some
used
little
to,
prayer.
yeah, and they flourish like anything. People say, oh, you gave me snot. And I said, look at my plants, they are so good. And same thing is here. I put some plants here, tulsi and curry patta. Every day I put some mantra near that or some good music, because I love music. And they are growing, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Music affects the plants.
They affect it. And when I cook, I always put mantra on, and there is a different vibration, very different vibration.
When you talk to your plants, they grow better, even your indoor plants or outside, because they do have the feelings.
The reason is because everything under the infinity is a consciousness. And so this question about consciousness, no, everything has a consciousness, including plants, including stones. It is whether you're conscious of it, that is the difference between humans and non-humans. Humans are conscious of it, but the other living beings are not conscious of it. So there's difference between conscious and consciousness. Consciousness is the Brahman or the infinity or the God or whatever, everybody has a different terminology. And that is what connects all of us as one. And so plants have consciousness, but they are not conscious. That is, I wanted, maybe something with the technical part of the question, I think we needed to alter. Then we will all agree with that question and answer.
So when we get an expert, then let's tuck this in the back of our minds and let's make sure that we ask. Many of you have touched on the correct points, and let's move on to our next Next question. So when we talk about Hindu way of eating, we hear a lot about fasting. So this next question is about fasting. And it says, what can you eat when you are fasting? And again, this is a multiple choice. And the answers choices are only yogis should fast for long periods. Household people or working people should fast only briefly because they need energy. When you fast, you starve the deities in you and they are not pleased by it. The other choice is the tradition of fasting for religious or spiritual purposes is integral to Vedic tradition, and all of the above is the last choice. Wow, only 4 people have answered, or I need more people. Come on.
Bhavnaji, the
We
question
can see
disappeared
poll.
from the screen.
We cannot see poll.
You cannot see the poll?
No, yeah. No, we can't see.
It went away too quick, the poll.
Okay,
From
one
the screen.
It just disappeared.
All right, here we
There.
go. All right. So if everybody could please answer again, I'd appreciate it. Sorry about that. We're still waiting for 9 people to answer. Okay, so I'm going to begin my countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I'm ending the poll now and sharing the results. And well, some of you guessed correctly, but 5 of you, 29% got it correct. It's all of the above. From what I found is that only yogis are recommended to fast for long periods of time because they are really in the process of renunciating this world. And so they don't really need all that energy. And they actually recommend that people who are involved in the household, people who are working, it's recommended that they don't fast for long periods of time because they really have to conserve their energy. So intermittent fasting or brief periods of fasting is all right for them, but they should really not fast for long periods of time. And it does say that when you fast, you are starving the deities in you and they don't feel pleased by it. And that's according to the Hindu philosophy. So, and tradition of fasting for religious and spiritual purposes is really, it really is an integral part of the Vedic tradition. So the correct answer is really all of the above. So thank you everybody for that. And here is our next question. And that is, according to the Hindu, let's see, here we go. According to the Hindu law book, Manusmriti, women should not observe fasting when they are apart from their husbands. And is that, I'm going to refrain from answering for that one. Is that true or false? Does anybody know? Okay, I'm about to close the poll. And just a few minutes, I'll give maybe a couple of seconds more, and here we go. And I am now ending the poll right now. And the answers were 83% said false and 17% said true. And what I read was that it was true. I don't know anything about the Hindu law book Manusmriti, but what was written is what I'm telling you, that that is what it apparently Manusmriti says, that women should not observe fasting when they are apart from their husbands. And I can only think, the only reason that I can think of for that is because, as we said earlier, fasting tends to deplete one of one's energy. And so they don't, they want the husbands around to take care of the women as they're fasting. So somebody should be there. And so that's the only reason. If anybody else has some tidbits to offer regarding this particular thing, then I'm open to listening. Please do share.
Where is the source of your polls?
There was a Hindu site, and that I found, and it had a bunch of information about the Vedic way of eating and all this. So I did quite a bit of research, and I went to several sites, and I got all these questions. And of course, Pramila sent me a couple of questions as well. So, okay, here's our last one. If you fast in moderation without starving your body for days, both the gods in your body and you will feel good about it.
Oh, God, and your body.
Okay, so I'm about to close the poll. This was our last question. So 82% of you have answered. Let me give it 1 or 2 more seconds and see if anybody else is answering. But here I go, and I'm ending the poll now. And 89% of you said true, and 11% said false. And yes, the trues have it. So the true is the correct answer for this question. So thank you everybody for sharing. Pramila, I'm going to send you the names of the people that got this correct, and they told me privately.
Okay. Especially last 2 questions, I didn't get those at all.
I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay.
Bhavnaji, I would like to add something if you allow me to.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. About the plants and trees we were talking. In our homes, like in villages and joint families in India, we have like large houses and our and everybody, I'm pretty sure every person who is here, they might have seen Tulsi ji in the center of our angan, and seen your mom praying them and putting.
If you are talking to somebody, please mute yourself before you talk so that we don't get interrupted. Thank you. Go ahead, Abhilashi.
So that was one thing I wanted to bring. So see, and about people tree, everybody said don't cut people trees, but banyan trees, we never cut banyan trees. So those trees, like we do what's Savitri, puja on banyan tree, and on people tree we do so many different kind of pujas. And see, it is not all part of the Hindu or Vedic Sanskriti. There are some inclusions and exclusions, and there are some exceptions we talk about. But more or less, we believe in many plants as our devta, like people devta, Bargat devta. So Tulsi Devi, Tulsi Ma, you know. So this is our culture. We whether there is consciousness or conscience, whatever we were discussing, as Seema ji said, we believe there is a life, and the question was like whether they feel pain like humans. They feel pain but not like humans. That is the only differentiation I understand. And Jetinder, they also had a very good explanation on this, like we were talking on this previously. So putting all this together, they have life, they feel pain but not like we feel the pain. We don't cry. We cry, but they don't cry. We complain, they don't complain. And as Pramila ji bought into, you know, that if you curse a plant repeatedly, after some time it dies out. So means I don't know, I haven't witnessed that, but yes, we believe in what we hear. You know, hamare sare, like all the Vedas that we have, this is all by Shruti. We are hearing, and Shruti and Smriti, we are hearing and remembering and, like, you know, passing along to our next generations. And that's how we have retained Vedas after so many years, and so much going on, like in Hindu country, like our country, so much went down, like history. Second thing, we were talking about the women not fasting during when their husbands are. I think that Manusmriti, that scripture that says they should not fast during the period they are not cohabitating with their husbands. Certain periods, you know, during the year, you know, I think that talks about that. And that is one of the things they talk about. So मैं नई tidbits जोड़ना चाहता था. Thank you.
No. Thank you for that, Abhilash ji. All right, so we're I think we're pretty much done with today's program. I know that Pramila, do you have all the names and everything for everyone?
No, I think I need two correct names from the not last one, but the two question before the last one.
Yeah, so I think I sent that.
No, you sent me, okay, but I thought you said 5 were correct on the last but one. So, but I see only one name. Otherwise, I have all the. Who's this GP?
Okay, so no, I think I sent you everybody.
Okay, then I have. So, yeah. Can you see this? How I show this?
All right. So you need to put all the names in a basket or something, folded, and so that we can draw the names. We had 10 questions, but we are going to be giving away four prizes, 4 $25 gift certificates to Royal Palace. So we'll be drawing 4 names. If the more questions you got right, that increases your chance for having your name drawn. If we draw the same name twice, we will put that chit aside and we will draw again. So we want to give, we want to give the maximum number of prizes out to the maximum number of people. So it'll be 4 different people who will be chosen. Okay.
And I want to add, to let people know, see all the volunteers, the organizers, our trustee members and their families, they are not eligible for this draw.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Abhilash.
Ashok, you're out of luck, but sorry about that.
Me too.
And Usha and Arun, you're out of luck as well. And Abhilash and Prabila, we're all.
We didn't put the name because.
Inglaji wants to say something like why we.
Yeah. So Seema Rathi just reminded me that we were also giving out a prize for the person that guessed the correct answers to the name of the
dishes.
And I think Seema Rathi
she answered the first and Rajni
and Rajni Menon I think guessed the other one. So we will definitely get 2 additional gift certificates for those 2 people. Abhilash ji, if you can just write that down, please.
Yes, I have already written.
Marathi. Okay. So, Pramila, whenever you're ready, we're ready to pick.
Bhavna ji,
Hanji.
I just wanted to say a couple of things before we pick the names.
Sure.
2016 May, the guy was Japanese. His name was Osumi. He won the Nobel Prize Fasting for Health and Longevity. Nobel Prize winning research on cell aging. That's what the research he did in 2016. And how cells recycle and renew their content, a process called autophagy. Fasting activates autophagy, which helps slow down the aging process and has a positive impact on cell renewal. So, but in our scriptures, they, especially like Purnamashi, Ekadashi, we always fast. I know my grandparents and my mother and everybody used to fast. Second thing was somebody had.
Those are also considered short-term fasting.
Right.
The Navratri fasting and all that, but those are all still considered short-term fasting for spiritual and festive reasons.
Right.
When they talk about long-term fasting, they're talking about, just renunciating, eating altogether, and kind of when you're, going in.
Right. Now, what I was saying is that the Japanese guy won the Nobel Prize, the thing that we've been saying for thousands of years. That's what.
Right.
And the second thing was somebody had a plant in their house and they said, "Arun, take this plant. It's not, bringing kaliyon ka paudha tha. It's not bringing any flowers in our house." So when I brought home, and every day when I pray, I used to tell them, "Jaldi se phool do, mujhe Bhagwan ke channon mein jana hai." So one day, all of a sudden, I woke up in the morning. There are 51 kaliyan on that plant.
Wow.
Yes. So prayers to plant and talking to plants always works. Not only to plants, even to animals and birds, whosoever it is. If you start feeding them, they'll come and knock on your door, feed me.
Yeah. They always work. Yeah.
Always work. Thank you so much.
Pramila, you are in the spotlight now. Do your thing and pick the names.
So I have this. So how I'm going to pick? I'm going to put all those on table.
You have to close your eyes and pick.
Okay.
Mix it up.
Yeah.
With your hand.
Let me get a bigger one than where I can mix it.
Okay.
Okay. So this goes in here. Okay. Now I can mix
that's
it.
fine.
Okay. Yes.
Very good.
That's great.
I can see it.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm picking out one.
Okay.
Oh, I took out two.
It's okay.
Name is Ela.
Ela. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
In this one. Okay. Ready for next one?
थोड़ा नीचे से निकालिए.
हाँ?
थोड़ा नीचे से निकालिए.
बीच में से खींच के निकालो. अंदर से.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. I'm picking second one. And I picked Parul.
Parul Mehra.
Okay.
Parul Mehra.
Thank you.
Parul Mehra.
Parul Mehra. Okay.
Thank you, Parul.
Thank you.
Okay. How many are
one second, Pramila. Parul, if you could just, this is Bhavna. If you could just give me, put your address in the chat box to me privately.
चेहरा दिखा दीजिए पारुल जी.
Oh God. पारुल फ्रेंड है उसको बोलो आएगी. पारुल आ जाओ.
Hi Parul.
Hi. Okay. Next.
Parul, you have to take it.
नीचे से उठाना.
Okay, so third one is going in.
Bottom में से, हाँ.
Okay. I picked. Adde, I'm doing your job. Rajni Menon.
Rajni Menon. All right. Great.
Okay.
Okay. I have Raji's address. So
Didn't we decided that if we already have a winner, then we will like switch it away?
Okay. 4.
Right. One more.
This another Raji. I guess Raji answered more.
10583.
कौन है नाम क्या
10583 है.
कौन था?
Okay, one time.
अभिलाष जी को ही भेज दूं. अभिलाष जी को ही भेज दूं.
Oh, this is another Parul. So that goes out.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, another one. I think most
बॉटम में से लो ना यार मिलाते हैं. हाँ.
Okay.
सबको भेज दिया. शक्ल दिखाओ.
Who was that? Amita? Dr. Amita? Someone?
Yes, Amita
Amita Banerjee.
Amita
$25 वो Royal Palace का gift card.
Raji, where are you? We can't see you.
That makes four of us.
I have her address also.
And who's taking me out for dinner?
Can you repeat the name again? 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 names are Amita,
Amita Banerjee.
and I didn't write the last name because I didn't have,
Yeah.
Parul,
Parul Behra.
Ila Pandya.
Rajni Menon, and Ila.
Ila Pandya.
Ila Pandya. All right.
Auntie Abhilashi, you were saying something? Okay, all right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And we hope that you enjoyed today's program and learned something again. You know, we are not experts here, but I do appreciate everybody's input and your participation.
No, it was very well done. Beautiful. Beautiful. It was good.
भावना जी
हाँ बोलो ना.
भावना जी
हाँ बोलो.
2 मिनट में 2 पॉइंट मेरे को बोलना है.
हाँ जी.
आज का प्रोग्राम बहुत बढ़िया रहा. मैंने लंच डिनर कंबाइन करते करते देखा.
हाँ.
तो ख्याल आया कि हमारा जो टेम्पल की साइट है,
हाँ जी.
तो हर एक लेडीज और भाई जो भी खाना बनाते हैं अपनी रेसिपी, 2-3 आदमी खाए इतना लेके आए और मंदिर में हम ओपन भजन के साथ करें. क्या ख्याल है आपका?
बिल्कुल, एब्सोल्युटली.
6 फीट का डिस्टेंस के आधार पे वहाँ हम भजन भी करेंगे और अपनी अपनी डिश थोड़ी लेके आओ, नहीं लाओ तो भी चलेगा. एक ख्याल ऐसा आया. दूसरा ख्याल आया खुराक के बारे में कि सत्वगुण, रजोगुण और तमोगुण हर एक में ये सब कुछ है. लेकिन भगवत गीता के मेरा ज्ञान जो मैं समझा उसके मुताबिक हर एक की प्रकृति ऐसी बनती है. जो तमोगुणी होता है तमस, वो लोग बहुत ज्यादा खट्टा तीखा कड़वा ऐसा खाते हैं. जो सत्वगुणी है उनका बहुत माइल्ड फूड होता है. रजस उसमें इंटरमीडिएट टाइप. उसके मुताबिक हमारा स्वभाव की प्रकृति का बंधारण होता है. ऐसा मेरी समझ है बेस्ड ऑन द भगवत गीता, कृष्ण भगवान फिलोसॉफी, और व्हाटएवर अर्जुन को बताया उसने कि योर स्वभाव डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट यू ईट.
Absolutely.
Your health depends on how much you eat, how many times you eat, and the third one is what you do. So तन अच्छा होगा तो मन अच्छा होगा. मन पहला तन चाहिए शरीर, तो मन अच्छा रहेगा. मन और तन अच्छा तो धन की वृद्धि होगी, काम कार्यरत करेगा, सत्वगुण बनेगा. और उन तीनों को साथ में रखेंगे तो चौथा क्या होता है? संबंध. परिवार का संबंध, समाज के साथ, हर एक के साथ ताल्लुक बनेगा. भगवान जिसको देता है उसमें ऊपर के 3 गुण होता है. उसको अच्छा जो धर्मादा करते हैं, दान देता है, तो भगवान बोलता है कि तू जितना देगा उससे 3 गुना, 10 गुना, 100 गुना मैं दूंगा. ये हमारी मेथोलॉजी और स्पिरिचुअल ज्ञान के जो है. लेकिन इट इज ट्रू. जिन्होंने चप्पड़ फाड़ के दिया है कोई भी अच्छे काम में, उसको भगवान ने भरपूर दिया है. कई लोगों ने फिलोसॉफिकली ऐसा कहा कि हमारे हाथ बहुत छोटे होते हैं, जब वो देता है ना तो हम उठा नहीं सकते. और जब ऐसे मार्ग पर चलते हैं तो ले जाएगा तो चमड़ा भी तोड़ के ले जाएगा, ऊपर ढक्कन भी नहीं होगा कपड़े का. ऐसा कर्म योग है. Over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Nattu bhai. Okay. All right. Thank you. I just wanted to take this opportunity also to wish our Usha Sharma a belated happy birthday. She had a birthday last week. Anybody else also who had a birthday, very, very many happy returns to you. And over to Arunji. Arunji, आपको कोई announcements करने हो तो? आप mute हो गए. क्या हो गया? आप अनम्यूट कर दीजिए अपने आप को, या शायद उषा को म्यूट कर दिया था इसलिए नहीं सुनाई नहीं दे रहा. So while Arunji is adjusting his sound, I just wanted to say that I know that you know, the construction had started, and then because of the pandemic, it had slowed down. It had started again, and you know, they were finding it difficult. You know, they completed a certain amount of construction. They installed all the windows. All the materials have been ordered for the roofing and the sheetrock and everything, but the supplier was having difficulty finding enough staff to deliver the materials. And so, you know, Jagdish Mittar and Harry Singh, and they've all been in constant touch with the suppliers, and they are expecting that by next week, they are hoping that, you know, the construction will restart. And once the construction restarts, then it's, you know, just a question of a few months before phase 1 is completed. However, as soon as we finish phase 1, we're hoping to start construction of phase 2, which will be the larger temple hall. So please let your donations come in and keep them coming. So, you know, all of the money is not going to be used for phase 1, but will also be used for phase 2. So that's just a little bit of an update regarding the constructions, but please join us for our programs. That is the main thing, right? We want to stay connected with you so that when the temple does open, then, you know, we'll be all together to enjoy the opening. So thank you very much. And Arunji, can I hear you now?
Thank you.
नहीं, आप अभी भी नहीं सुनाई दे रहे. Okay, so Ila Ben, आज समय बंद करना तो चंद्र जी आप बंद करेंगे आज आरती.
आरती करना है कि और शांति पाठ करते हैं?
जो भी.
चंद्र जी आप कीजिए, हम तो आज किचन में हैं.
अच्छा, कोई बात नहीं, मैं कर देती हूँ.
I just want to add something. Today is
somebody wanted to add something. Abhilash ji, बोलिए.
Today is Nag Panchami, the auspicious day we praise the Nag Devta. So just wanted to remind everyone to remember in their evening prayers. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Chandraji.
Thank you.
Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvasvaha Tatsaviturvareniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukumiva Bandhanam Mrityurmokshiyamamritat. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमया लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ द्यौ शान्ति अन्तरिक्षं शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्ति वनस्पतयः शान्ति विश्वे देवा शान्ति ब्रह्म शान्ति सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्ति सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Everybody have a safe night and weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandraji. And
Thank you.
Thank you again to Rajni for taking the time and sharing her wonderful recipes with us. Rajni, you have to come back again and share some more recipes another time, especially when we get our temple started. So stay connected with us, definitely. All right.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really, really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed as well. I wish all of you safe and be healthy. Thank you
so much. All right. Good night, everybody. And congratulations to all the winners. We will get those certificates out to you. So thank you and good night. And if you want to go back and see this program again, you can catch it on Facebook as well as the Temple Facebook, Hindu Temple of Tristates Facebook page. And we also have a YouTube channel. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way, you know, all the recorded programs will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. So you can always catch it there as well. So good night, everybody, and have a great weekend.
And please don't forget to share on your Facebook, because we need to promote them and take our temple to them who are not connected to us. It would be a great service to the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Good night.